So just waiting for Carlos here joining, and then we're gonna get started. So, well, very nice to have everybody on. Just gonna share my screen real quick so that we can start diving into this actual LinkedIn thing. And then obviously at the end, we're gonna have some time to cover questions. Now, guys, please don't make this awkward for me. If you can turn on your camera, that will be very good. So I'm not the only one. Awesome, thank you. We got Kassan, Raul, that's awesome. Danny, Phyllis, Carlos, Matthew, Sunny. All right, Carlos, what's up? Awesome. So I'm going to be sharing this actual link with you guys so that you can follow along and actually download this doc same time as me and be able to click on all the links and obviously make sure this is easy to follow for you guys. So there's going to be a recording of this in case you want to go back and complete some of the steps that you're not able to immediately follow. That being said, this is what we're going to cover in this actual live clinic. So how to create a LinkedIn account, how to optimize your LinkedIn account to make sure that you're landing potential clients, then how to create a lead list, how to set up a message automation software, the best DM scripts that we've been using, how to get people to book on your calendar, and then how to get those people to actually show up on the call. Okay, so I'm gonna go real quick over the two original points here about like creating a LinkedIn account. Hopefully you guys already have a LinkedIn account created. If not, you can just go to linkedin.com and sign up after I release the recording of this video, right? So let's say you already have your LinkedIn account. Some basic setups you guys are going to want to have in place. First of all, a professional profile pic, professional background pic, professional bio tailored to your niche. So we're going to talk about niching down on LinkedIn. That's going to be very, very important to make sure that, let's say you're reaching out to nurses, and now we got nurses, seeing your messages, they go on your profile, and then they see it's niche down to nurses specifically. That's going to help you with conversion. Okay, kind of like my LinkedIn profile is obviously going to be niche down to insurance agency builders and life insurance agents. And then you're going to want to put all your info to make sure people know you're real. Just build that trust, right? We're kind of in a trust recession right now where people online don't trust anybody. So obviously when you're sending out those cold messages, we try to get as much trust as possible from the people by having a good LinkedIn profile. So let me just connect to my LinkedIn here real quick to do a quick overview of what I'm talking about. And then we're going to get into the juicy stuff, which is actually creating your lead list, setting up the automation and all that. All right. So as far as LinkedIn profile, this is what I mean by professional, profile picture, professional background, and putting all of your info, like kind of where you're at, where you're working, what kind of studies you've done, and then you're going to also be able to create a bio or about section where people can learn a bit more about you. And if you've got this experience and people endorsing your skills, and eventually you grow your follower base, then obviously this is going to help with conversion. Okay, so just make sure you don't have like a blank profile with nothing on it, because then it's not going to work. So let's say you've got the first two steps dialed in. This is definitely the easiest part. Now let's get into actually creating a lead list that will pay out. Okay, and just so you guys know, we've used LinkedIn for a very long time at Fondaco. That's how we landed all of our first clients. So I definitely recommend everybody does this. Now, for this to work, you actually need to pick up a niche. Okay, don't overthink it, but pick a niche that you know a little bit something about, so that you can build instant rapport with those future clients that you land on an appointment. So if you've had like a past career, a passion, hobbies, maybe your spouse career, that's going to be a good niche to pick. Another tip in actually picking up a niche is to make sure that the demographic is easy to identify and they actually relate to you. All right. So for example, let's say you're like this big dude with a big beard. You used to be a trucker. Maybe don't pick a niche of like hairdressers, because maybe they're not going to relate to you as much as if you were actually picking a niche of like people in construction or welders or truckers, right? So make sure you pick a niche that actually relates to you, that you're going to be able to relate with and build instant trust, because you know something about what they're doing. Okay. So this is the first step, is going to be picking up your niche. Any question about this so far? Then we're going to go in creating the actual lead list. No? All good?
Quick question for you, Pavel. Just curious, have you found a way to kind of determine like size of that niche list, or is it just kind of trial and error?
Yeah, so kind of moving into the actual search and creating your lead list here, you're going to want to have a lead list of a couple thousand people, right? You don't want it like 10,000 people plus, and you don't want it like a couple hundred people. So I would say 2,000 to 8,000 people is like a sweet spot, and you can see that very easily for free on LinkedIn. So let's say we use nurse, for example. I want to target nurses, right? I'm going to go and click nurse in the search bar, and then I'm going to click people. And now it's going to give me 5 million results, right? But let's say I'm a guy in Texas doing this, and I actually prefer working with people that are in Texas. Well, I'm going to go to all filters here, and I'm going to create like the ideal lead list for me. So you can do always do second and third connections. First connection is people that you already connected with, okay? And then let's say I'm in Dallas, and I want people in Texas, okay? All the nurses in Texas, and just, yeah, so let's say I just do the search result like this first. You guys are going to see now I've got almost 200,000 nurses that I can reach out to obviously that is still too big of a niche. So let's say I go down to only nurses in Dallas. So sorry. The location, I'm gonna go Dallas.
And you might be able to use that to go after those church agencies that are changing the deal.
Good. And now I show results. Now I've got 12,000. So we're getting closer, but I want to get that number even more niche down, because the more kind of filters I put in, the better the data it's going to be, the better my connection ratio, my response ratio is going to be. So let's say I want to niche down even more. I'm going to only pick people that currently have the title nurse. Okay. And then show results. I'm now at 9,000. If let's say my first language was Spanish and I want to talk to people that have or speak Spanish, then I could do Spanish, and now it would be 12. So that would be too low. So let me actually remove this and put English. Now I've got 9,000 people, which is a pretty good lead list. Let's see if there's anything we can filter down even more. Oh, I can actually double confirm the industry they're working in by having that title nurse, and also that they selected they're in the healthcare and hospital industry, right? So now that's going to filter out even more that leads. Now I've got 6,000 people to work with, and that's a pretty good lead list. So Yoanse, is that helpful on kind of how you niche down on your lead list?
Yeah, absolutely. That was more than helpful. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. And obviously, don't pick nurses just for nurses, right? Pick the right niche for you. Yes, Raul.
So, quick question: is there a way for us to, I don't know if you want to call it the secondary profile, but if what I do is on a primary basis is technology leadership, and this is something that I'm doing as a side thing.
Yeah.
How do you curate the data on the bio and the front page to make it seem like one? I wouldn't want maybe some people to know that I'm actually running a business on the side, right? Like,
right, I get it. So look, when we were doing this, we had multiple accounts working for us, because the main problem with this LinkedIn strategy, you get good quality but low volume. All right. So we actually had like 4 to 6 accounts running at the same time. So you might need to get a friend's LinkedIn account, your spouse LinkedIn account, or someone you know, but because the account will be linked to a real person's ID and phone number on LinkedIn. So what I would do is I would have my account, Joey's account, and then some people on our team's accounts. I know that some of our clients, they would have their account, some of their friends' account. So if you don't want to modify your account, then you're going to need to use somebody else's account for that. Okay? Because you can't have 2 landing pages, which say 2 different things, but it's the same profile. Makes sense?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, Danny.
Yes, Pablo. Yes, Pablo?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so you mentioned adding a filter with something like your passion, something you like, your spouses. So say, for example, I wanted to filter by sports interest. So how would you filter that in, or would you even recommend going that route? Or maybe that's just too vague. You specify what type of sport.
Yeah, good question. What I would do is in my bio, I would say, let's say I pick nurses. I would say for something like, I specialize in building nurses retirement, or improving nurses retirement, or something like that, right? Like I would have a tangible benefit that I deliver to my niche. So if it makes sense for you to say like, I help sports enthusiasts build better retirement, then that's kind of like, why are you in that niche? Versus if you pick like a, let's say trucker, I help truckers, protect their finances and build the retirement income they want. Then it makes sense because they're all in the same work. Therefore, they all have kind of similar earning patterns, so you can help them better. But if it's like sports enthusiasts, or like, it doesn't really make sense. Let's say you do football players, professional football player, then maybe that would work.
I was asking in the sense of an extra layer. So nurses
an extra layer.
Nurses that like sports, or engineers that like sports, doctors that like sports. Like, was that possible? Would that make sense?
Yeah. So let's say you do all nurses in the United States that like football. Let's try that. No results. So you're going to need to play with the actual filters to see what works. Let me go, let's say, United States, and we do engineers, right? We've done engineers in the past. It definitely works. But we've never done engineers that like sports. That's a good question. So let's see what we get. Actually, I need to start the search from here. All right, and then we do people. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend you guys buy the LinkedIn Pro for $100 a month. You don't need that. Like, you get all the search results you want from the free. So yeah, don't waste $100 a month on that. Now, let's say we do engineers in the US. We now have a list of 7 million. Wow, that's crazy. All filters. And let's say you want people sports. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea, Danny, to filter down with that. I would keep it to the professional. Okay. All right. So let's go back to our nurse search here. By the way, guys, any other question on how to build your lead list? No? Pretty straightforward.
Like for me, I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner. So like, what would be like a good thing for me to write? Like helping like nurses like be hiring free and what? Like I don't tax it. I'm not really sure. Like what would it, like what would be a good wording when it comes to that?
Right. So what the good wording is depends to what you can do, right? The goal is for people to think you're niche down and working only with them, because on LinkedIn, you're only working with people that are in that specific niche, right? So what's good is like planning retirement, finding the best insurance protection. Like you could keep it simple. I help nurses find the best insurance protection for them and their family, something like that. Or I help nurses plan their retirement to maximize their retirement income, for example. So don't overcomplicate this. Keep it simple, but just make sure your bio is niche down to your niche. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul.
I don't know if that answers. I don't know if that answers the question. Sorry.
Yes, it's just that wording. I was not sure like how to put it. So just I figured it out. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. So now I want to go back to my original list. So I've got here second and third in Dallas, and I want people that speak English and have nurse show result. So what's my? Okay. Well, that's fine. I can use the 1500 also. So now that we've got our actual lead list based on job title and location, it's actually time to start implementing the automation software. So you guys, if you just joined, I'm going to send the link to this doc again so that you can actually have access to it and go back to it. But pretty much you're going to want to click here on WeConnect.io and actually create your, well, start your 14-day free trial. Okay. I'm actually going to log in because obviously I've done this before, but just put in your info and you're going to be able to create a profile really easily. They're going to send you an email so that you confirm that it's really you and it's a real email address. And then what you're going to actually need to do is go into channels and LinkedIn account, and then you're going to connect your LinkedIn account to this software, right? So it's going to ask you, connect your LinkedIn account. It's going to ask you your LinkedIn email, LinkedIn password, what time zone you're in, what's your sleep schedule. That means like when you don't want to be sending out automated messages. So I would recommend doing like 9 to 5 or like 8 to 5 or something like that. Okay. So this should be pretty straightforward. You're going to create your WeConnect.io account. You're going to link your LinkedIn profile to it. And then we're going to talk about the actual next steps that come with that. And don't worry, guys, you're going to get access to the recording. You're going to be able to go back and do all this step by step, but just make sure you're paying attention so you can ask any questions in the meantime. Okay. So now I've connected my LinkedIn account. It's time to actually create or import my lead list. So I'm going to go here in folder, saved list, and I'm just going to add a new list. Okay. I'm going to delete that one here so that this would be exactly what you guys see. I'm going to click add new list, right? And I'm going to click LinkedIn search URL. And obviously the URL is going to be this right here. This is your LinkedIn search URL. I'm going to copy that and put it live into this software. And I'm going to name it. So let's just say Dallas nurses, January 30th. And I'm going to save and import the list. So that's going to work by itself. It's going to scrape all the data for you. You're not going to need to manually reach out to anyone. This is all going to happen in the background. Okay. This will take about 24 hours to scrape the full list, but you can start creating the campaign and reaching out to people immediately. Okay. So any questions about how or where to import the list in the actual software? Pretty straightforward on that. Cool. Now this list is scraping. What I want to do is obviously reach out to those 1,500 nurses automatically. So I'm going to go back in my menu and look at campaigns. Okay. And we're going to create a campaign together. So add new. I'm going to add a new campaign. Give me a second here. It says waiting. Let's try to refresh. Okay. Cool. So we've already created a saved list. So I'm going to go here into saved list. And then I'm going to pick the list I just created, right? And click continue. Oh, sorry, I got to name it. So let's name it the same thing as the list and then click continue. And we've already done like 95% of the work. So this is really easy to set up. Now, this is the actual automation. You can create like, follow that person on LinkedIn, invite them to connect, like one of their posts, visit their profile. Obviously, what we want to do is invite them to connect. And now you can create a connection message. We've played with that quite a bit. Turns out the best connection message that will give you the best connection rate is actually no message at all. Okay. The second best that we've used, if you go here in script, is going to be like, hey, John, I had you on my recommendations list for a while, probably because I work with a lot of niche, aka nurses, looking forward to connecting with you. But if you guys want to keep it simple, just don't put anything. Okay. So you're going to click save and then continue. And sorry. Now we got to create an automation. If they actually accept your invite, we want to send them a message at that point. So we want to send the message 1 hour after they've accepted the request. And then this is the actual opening message that I recommend you guys use, okay? Or a similar variation of that. So we're going to go through it together. Hey, thank you for the connection. I see you are a nurse. I specialize in helping nurses maximize their take-home retirement income. Would you be open for a free 15-minute audit to see if we can make you more money? Okay? So essentially, the goal here is to have a direct offer that is something that people actually want. Remember, you're going to be doing a lot of volume. You don't want to waste people's time and your time by just chit-chatting on LinkedIn and not leading to anything actually purposeful. So we've always seen better performance on direct offers rather than like long paragraphs or like weird intros. I can share you guys some actually weird intros. If you just go on my profile here, for example, hey, Pavel, glad to have you in my network. I'd like to learn more about your experience and what new opportunities you are open to exploring. How does your day look like today or tomorrow for a quick call? But this guy, I don't know why I would hop on a quick call. He's not actually offering anything tangible. I don't have no context. So obviously I'm not going to reply to that. I'm like, okay, this is weird. I'm not going to reply, right? Here's another example. Hey, Pavel, I appreciate the connection. Looked at your service background in one capacity or another. I believe you could possibly be a fit for our firm. I would like to further connect. Are you currently keeping your options open for additional opportunities? This is obviously better, but still very broad. There's no direct offer, right? So I want you guys to have a direct offer. This is an example of what we would do for when we were using this for actual clients, right? Thank you for the connection. I see you are with PHP. I have reference from clients looking to become life insurance agents. Would that make sense for you? Now, this guy's like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So obviously I'm going to get a really high response rate, right? Same here, same message. That sounds very interesting. Great to start the chat about it. So you guys get the idea. Make sure you have a direct offer. This will always outperform any kind of soft reach out, because on LinkedIn, people know you're trying to prospect them. Okay, they're doing the same thing. so just go straight for the kill. Make sense? Cool. Any question about the actual opening message? This is another thing where we've done hundreds of variations, and this kind of template will work best for you. So we're going to click next. If they didn't accept the invite, you can either like visit their profile to get a bit more attention. Let's say a day later. That way, if they sign in on their LinkedIn, now they're going to get a notification. Hey, Danny, watch my profile. And now, hey, Danny also sent me a request. All right, I'm going to go and accept Danny. But I wouldn't send another message, because then you're going to look needy and desperate. Okay, I've got an example of that here. For example, let me try to find one. See this person, right? One message, no reply. Another message, no reply. Another message, now a whole book to read, no reply, and a calendar to book on his calendar. And now another follow-up. Like, don't do that. Okay. Cool. And that's it. You save it, and you click continue. Any question about the messaging before we dive into the actual setting of this mechanism?
Hi, Pavel. I have a question.
Yeah.
About the one visit profile.
Yep.
They need to have the premium account, right, to see that we have checked the profile? Or
I'm not sure. Let me see in my notification here. I actually have turned off all notifications, so I cannot answer that question, unfortunately.
I think, Cassandra, you can see that somebody has visited your profile, but you don't know who it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But you need premium to know who exactly came to your profile.
So what is it
that
going to
makes
change
sense.
then if we select visit profile? It's only the one that has the premium account that will be able to see that, right?
Yes, but it can still help you, because you're sending a notification on their phone. Someone visited your profile. Now they're back on LinkedIn, and now they might see your invite, right? So I would still put it in rather than nothing, or rather than like sending a follow-up message at this stage.
Yeah, thank you.
The follow-up message. So let's say we sent the automated message. They didn't do anything, so we went and visited the profile. If after we visited the profile, is there a way to send another follow-up, automated, or is it that from that point onwards it's all manual?
So basically how this automation works, right? As soon as someone accepts your invite, this message gets sent out an hour later. Okay.
Right.
Now, let's say someone don't accept your invite and it sends like a profile visit, then they accept it. This message will trigger an hour after they've accepted it. So what I'm saying is like, I wouldn't personally do another action here where like, if they haven't accepted, I send them another message, because then it's going to look like you're trying too hard. That's just my opinion. So this is actually how this is the only setup we would have. And then if someone replies, we would actually do some copy pasting with the script that I'm going to share with you guys.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Awesome. Cool. Great stuff. Other than that, what else?
Sorry, one more question if you don't mind. So if we do this round 1, and let's say 15 days later, I wanted to curate that list a little bit more, there's no way to avoid sending the same message to the same set of people at that point, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because remember, in our list, we only reach out to people that are second and third connection. So your first connection people are people that have already connected with you. You've already maybe sent them a message. So when you do your next campaign, you're going to select second and third connection only. So those are the only, if you, let's say out of the 1,500 nurses, 250 accept your invite and they've all received the message. Now, second go around, your list is going to be 250 people less. Make sense?
Oh, because they're not my connections.
Because now they're your first level connection, not your second and third. And this is why when we do our search list here, if I go back to nurses,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You click second and third. Yeah.
Yeah, always. Now, here's another tip, Raul. What you can do is create another action here. So let's say they've accepted the invite and we do like a post, that's fine. What I'm really interested in is if they don't accept the invite, withdraw invite, okay? Let's say after 10 days or 20 days, they haven't accepted your connection request, withdraw your invite, because LinkedIn can detect that you have sent 1,500 connection requests and people are not accepting you. So you have like 1,000 pending, and now they're like, this guy's prospecting. He's reaching out to people he doesn't know, right? But if you have this withdraw here, now it's not going to show that you have as many pending invites, okay? So you can add this step also. And for the like a post, let's just do it 2 days after. That way it's going to create even more engagement on the people you've reached out to. Make sense?
Yeah, but for that, we're going to have to create a actual account with VConnect over time, right? After the 14-day trial expires?
Yeah, after the 14-day trials, if you guys like this, you want to keep going, there is a fee. I'm not sure how much it is. I believe it's $30 per month, $30 US or 50 or something similar to that. Let me check here in billing plans.
Yeah, it's $49.
49?
Mhm.
Yeah. But you can try it for 14 days and see what kind of results you're getting.
Okay. So you want to maximize the usage of this if you don't want to pay for it in the first 14 days.
Well, here's the thing. This brings me to my next point, okay? You cannot send more than 100 invites per week, aka 400 invites per month. So I'm just going to go in campaign details. I want to see like the actual campaign that we've already created, draft. All right, I'm going to go and edit this. So now we've got our message dialed in. We've got our workflow dialed in. We're going to click continue. Here's the thing, daily action limit. You're going to put that to 20, okay? And then the default schedule is going to be like 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Just select the right time zone for the location you're going to be targeting. And then that's it. You cannot reach out to more than 100 people a week on LinkedIn. Otherwise, your account will get flagged. The software will not send more, because if it did, it will get flagged, right? So that's just unfortunately how it goes. And you can click randomize daily actions. So it kind of comes in at one time, sends 3 invites, goes out, come back a couple hours later, send 2 more invites, and therefore it's kind of like more natural. I've never turned this on, but it is an option. And you're going to want to continue and launch your campaign. And that's it. Now you've got an automated LinkedIn robot sending out 20 messages a day for you every single day. So if you want to actually scale this, this is where we had like 6 accounts doing this. So we were actually sending 120 messages a day and booking at least 1 appointment a day from this. Okay. So this is the actual automation setup. Now we're going to get people automatically responding, raising their hand, being like, yeah, I'm interested in doing a 15-minute free audit to see if I can make more money with my savings, right? Or whatever the offer you guys create. So we're going to talk about the actual script on how to get those leads that raise their hands to go and book a call on your calendar. Before that, Matthew, you have a question, right?
Now, if we were to get 6 LinkedIn accounts, are they all in the same WeConnect, or do we need 6 WeConnect accounts?
No, it's on the same WeConnect. So you're just going to go in and go back to channels, LinkedIn accounts, and you can create multiple ones. Now they will charge you that 29 or 49 bucks per month per LinkedIn account. So at some point it becomes more advantageous to just run ads than do this, because you're going to get more volume for your money, right? But this is a good way to get started.
Right. So in a perfect world, we'd run these, we get 20 clients in a month, each client's worth 500 bucks, take 10% of that and invest in ads in LinkedIn for month number 2 or month number 6, depending on how you've done your calculations.
Yeah, so just so you know, we would get 5 people showing up per month per LinkedIn account. That was just like our kind of our go-to. Okay, so if we had 6 LinkedIn account running, we would get 30 appointments that would show up on a monthly basis. So if it's 50 bucks per LinkedIn account, it's 250 bucks a month to get 30 people to show up. That's pretty good, very good actually. But then like it's very hard to scale past that, and you're spending a lot of time copy pasting messages to reply, get those people a book. So this is why at some point it became like a lot better for us to stop doing this and focus all of our efforts on running ads and funnels that auto convert and so on and so forth. Make sense?
Yeah, and then we end up with 3.0 eventually.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so my next question is, it's kind of a part B to that. How would you make ads? Do you do that right in LinkedIn? And you bring over your own copy and your own images, and you just create an ad like you would on, for example, Facebook or anywhere else?
Yeah, we've ran ads on LinkedIn, and our cost per lead was significantly higher than Facebook or TikTok or YouTube. Now, I personally never launched a LinkedIn ad. It was somebody on the team doing it. But I think the easiest platform to start running ads is Facebook.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And then I suppose the next easiest one would probably be Google.
And just so you know, we're coming up with ABI training on how to launch like a very basic Facebook ad and conversion funnel. But that's going to be a separate live call.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, Teresa. Oh, I thought you had a question. All good. All right. So
no, I'm sorry.
No worries. We're gonna keep on going on. So we've officially launched our system. Now we've got an automation working for us, right? And we get people raising their hands and they're like, hey, I'm actually interested. Now, how do you get those warm leads to transition into an official appointment on your calendar? Well, now we've already used our connection message, which is no message, our opener, which is the template that we've put in. Now it's time to transition. So obviously you don't want to be a robot and just copy and paste, but most of the time you'll be able to copy and paste, and you'll say something along those lines, right? Remember, your offer is a direct offer. You're offering a free 15-minute audit to see if they can make, if you can make them more money in this case. So they already have agreed to that. So you're like, okay, great. I still have a few availabilities in the next few days. So just take 30 seconds when you see this to pick the most convenient time for you using this link. Okay. And then you put your calendar link. So again, that message, we tried a lot of different variations. We found that adding this, like just take 30 seconds when you see this, would make people realize that it's a low commitment action, and they would actually do it more times the first time without having to follow up. So I recommend you add this in your in whatever transition message you have. So let's say people are like, yeah, sure, I'd be open to that. Okay, great. I still have a few availabilities in the next few days. So just take 30 seconds when you see this to pick the most convenient time for you using this link. And then you put your calendar link. If you don't have a calendar link, you can create a free Calendly system here using this link. Sign up, follow their step-by-step, and you're going to have a calendar link. You're going to link that to your Google Calendar. And when people sign up, then boom, you have an appointment on your calendar. Make sense?
Hey, Pavel, I think Google already does that, don't they?
Sorry, what?
I think Google already does that.
I don't know. I used Calendly when we were doing that. If you have Google that allows you to send a link and people can see your calendar and book, then you can use Google. That's totally fine. Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Can you program reminders from your Google Calendar link when people book?
That's a great question. I don't know. I'll look into it.
You get an email.
You get an email? Cool.
You
So
get
the
an
nice
email
thing
in
with
your Google Gmail account that basically says you have an appointment coming up or an appointment set up.
Right. So the cool thing with Calendly is it's always going to be free as long as you keep one calendar. Okay. So you can sign up. It looks really good. It's professional. People are familiar with the Calendly link. Most of the time, they're not going to think it's a scam. That's another problem, right? People don't want to click on the link because they think it's a scam. Calendly is pretty known. So yeah, anyway, that's just what we were using. And it allows you to create a confirmation SMS and email, a 24-hour reminder, and a 1-hour reminder automatically from Calendly. This way, you don't have to do any manual reminders for the people to show up. Okay. Yeah. So there was Christian Brown. You had a question.
Oh, never mind. You already answered me.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So now, unfortunately, guys, not everybody is going to just click on your link and book themselves in automatically. So we're going to need to do some follow-up, right? These are just the 3 best follow-up lines that I have been using, would recommend you guys use. First one is like, hey, Chris, I did not get any confirmation on my end. Were you able to schedule a time? Right? Pretty straightforward. I would send that the next day. And then the day after, I would be like, hey, Chris, this is a free audit to see if we can better plan your retirement and make you more money. Are you still open to that? Kind of like prompt him again. And if no answer, I would ask, hey, Chris, did you give up on this project? And if I get an answer after that, I'm out. All right, on to the next one. That's it. I would do 3 follow-up at most. And those are, again, just copy and paste. Okay? Now, when people actually book, I would be like, hey, thank you, Chris. I got the confirmation on my calendar for tomorrow, 9 a.m. This is the Zoom link we will use to connect on time. See you then. And that's it. Job's done, right? We've got a booked appointment. Make sense? Cool. So you guys are going to get access to the recording, obviously, to go back through the step by step and implement this at the same time. That being said, we still have 12 minutes to cover questions. So what can I clarify about this process for you guys?
Hi, Pablo.
Hey.
Hi. I just wanted to ask, and I don't know if it's a silly question or not, but I just want to ask, in relevance to what you were saying for nurses, would you say that it's better to just individually go after specific niches, and then create that list so it kind of creates, if it's better that way, or is it better to have, can you do something specific in your headline that, outlines that you're more broad in what you're offering in relevance to the life insurance, retirement savings, everything such?
I would 1,000% go niche down.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason why is because even though when you approach your clients, you might do a holistic approach and go very wide and make sure it's the ideal setup for them. Just a wide net is not going to attract people on LinkedIn as much as if you've got like a really pointy, specific niche. And I'll give you the reason why. You're sending a message to someone who's never heard about you before. First thing they're going to do is go check out your LinkedIn profile. Let's say they're a nurse and they see Tanya specializes in helping nurses do exactly what she's told me she does in the message. Then they're going to be like, okay, she's actually dedicated to that. The whole LinkedIn profile is tailored towards that. That puts a little bit more credibility. But if you say in your message like you're tailored towards nurses and then your actual profile is broad, then it looks like you're just trying to get them specifically. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. I guess I would want to know how I could create, say, for example, not just the life insurance, but I offer more than that, like relevance to in the financial industry. I offer, tax-free savings accounts, investments, insurance, and those things. But just curious how I would word it per se.
Right. So you got to find what's going to get people in the door, right? Not like what you're actually going to sell them. What's going to get people in the door. Then once you're on the appointment, obviously you conduct the appointment as you would conduct any other call. You're going to start by framing the call and be like, hey, this is what we're going to cover today. And then you do your own thing. So think about what brings the most amount of people to you right now. Is it the life insurance? Is it like the tax-free savings account? Like, what's the best offer you can create your clientele? So for example, going back to that message here, I'm not actually sharing my screen. Give me a second. I'm actually going to share my screen with you guys. So going back to this message here, I specialize in helping nurses maximize their take-home retirement income. Like that's not necessarily like one product. That could be a combination of multiple things. But we're selling them or we're hooking them with the outcome, the dream outcome that your potential clients have. That's your offer. Make sense?
Correct. Right. So if you said, you help families with wealth creation, would that be another alternative?
Yeah. I specialize in helping your niche create wealth, right?
Okay, beautiful.
Because families is going to be too broad. There's like millions of families. But let's just say you pick engineers. Hey, I help engineers in wealth creation. Then, okay, well, how do you do that, right? That's interesting.
True. Now, in that regard, would it be more helpful, like I think another gentleman was saying, to have just a few more LinkedIn so that you could attract more niches and not have to re-engineer your LinkedIn?
Yeah, if you don't want to re-engineer your LinkedIn, that's fine. You could use other LinkedIns for sure. Now, there's a concept called curated opportunity streams, which is a concept in sales and marketing that, let's say you always get the same person coming in front of you with the same problem and you save it the same, you solve it the same way. It's going to get significantly easier for you to actually maximize your performance in solving that problem. So let's say with 6 accounts, you're all targeting the same niche and you're always getting engineers coming in with the same problem and you solve it with a similar solution. You're going to get a lot better at doing that just from all the repetition, right? So I actually think it's a good idea to niche down and get really good at one thing. And then let's say 12 months later, you've contacted all the engineers in the US or in Canada or wherever you're at, and now you want to do like nurses or whatever, you could do
Okay.
that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yep.
Similar to her, so I heard you mention the 6 different LinkedIns. So you'd want all 6 saying I specialize in engineer or nurse, or all 6 are like engineer, doctor, lawyer? Like, is it like that?
Me personally, I would do all 6 of the same thing because I know that everything is going to get better with time. I'm going to optimize my message so it's a better crafted for, let's say you do all doctors, right? I'm going to get better at getting doctors to accept my invite. I'm going to get better at getting doctors to reply to my initial message. I'm going to get better at getting doctors to book the appointment, show up to the appointment, and then close them on the appointment. So I would just do one niche, multiple accounts, rather than just general, where every call is different and you don't know like exactly what's going to happen.
So I guess you're almost building a brand. Doctors will start. You're kind of building their name amongst that community, I guess, more or less. If you go and kind of after that same.
Well, the thing is, that could happen, but even if it doesn't happen, just you personally are going to get a lot better at converting those people when they come in. But even better if you build a brand. Now, obviously, if you guys run the multiple accounts, like you're going to need to separate either by location or by like city or whatever. You need to separate your lead list. Like, don't do 6 of the same lead list for your 6 accounts, because then like people are going to be like, what's going on? 6 people just send me the same message. That's really weird, So make sure it's all different lead lists. So what we would do, right, is we would do 1 per state, 1 per province. Like, hey, we help insurance agents in that province. We help insurance agents in that province. And then that way we know there's never any mixing.
So Bethel, just an observation, and maybe I'm missing something, but if we start creating multiple accounts, we kind of have to create those connections and that following all over again, wouldn't we? Like if I have a LinkedIn account right now and I have over like 500 connections, but I want to create another one in like another province, is it almost like starting from scratch?
Yes, it is starting from scratch, right?
Yeah, so credibility could be impacted from that standpoint.
Yeah, at first. But here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, let's say right now you use one LinkedIn profile, which is only the one that has 500 followers. That's not going to get you more than 5 actual show ups per month. Right? Maybe the other profiles that have less credibility only get you 3 or 4 for the first few months while you're building up that list. But I will still take an extra 3 or 4 per account per month rather than nothing, right? Rather than 0. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense, and it kind of goes back to Rahul's comment earlier, which I had the same thought as well. Is like you kind of want to keep it separate, so if people, just the kind of people who are employed are doing this as well, you just kind of want to keep things separate. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yep. Cool. Oh, so who's actually going to go and try this? Yeah, awesome, nice, cool. So the other ones you don't have your camera on, so I don't know if you're going to try it, but hope that.
I will.
All right, awesome, cool. So yeah, I mean, I hope you guys like this kind of walkthrough, and you're going to be able to start implementing that, get those people showing up. Probably in a couple weeks, we'll do one on the kind of messaging for recruiting. Like if you want to get 5 good recruiting appointments per month, right? You can target people that are in car sales or that are already in sales position. And that could be a very, very good weapon for recruiting. We're going to talk about that in a couple weeks. Okay? Awesome.
Yeah.
So I think there's sorry, what?
You do say you want to send the link of these, like, what are the steps?
So the link of the actual Google Sheet is in the Zoom chat. As far as the recording, someone's going to be posting that in the school community the next few days. Hopefully tomorrow, but don't want to promise anything. But I just sent the step-by-step Google Doc in the chat.
Thank you.
You can access that, and then the recording is going to be coming out. Jenny, as far as the Facebook ads training, I'm actually planning on doing that as quickly as possible. Obviously, Joey would be a better guy to do that. He's completely overloaded right now, so it's on my to-do list. As you can see, lots of things are scratched off. The 30-minute ads course is still on there, so it's it's on the next things that I got to roll out. Cool.
Yeah.
Other than that, guys, there's no more question. I'm going to wrap it up, but you let me know while we're here.
Thank you, Pavel. Very informative. Thank you so much.
Hey, no worries. Thank you so much for being